Hey guys, it's Esteban with Incognitistic. Today I want to talk about how to argue with an autistic person or even a neurodivergent person, because ADHD also has certain downfalls when it comes to arguing. And this means that we can't be treated like other people during an argument, at least not most of the time, because if the argument is involving something that we are passionate about, we care about, or we believe, strongly believe, if you start pressuring me into an answer or start piling up different topics on top of one another, it's not going to work out very well. And this is because when we are passionate about something in an argument, especially with somebody that we care about, or a friend, or an acquaintance or coworker, our working memory will start diminishing at a rapid pace sometimes. And also, as far as myself and a lot of other autistic people that I've read about and talked to, our ability to be cognitive of the conversation will diminish as well. Of course, along with our executive functioning. And this is an ADHD thing, of course, because it combines the focusing of a topic that is commonly known in autism with the inability to have that forethought and to sit down and think about what you're going to say before you say it. So this, of course, doesn't happen right off the bat, but it does happen as the argument progresses. So let's talk about stacking topics on top of one another while our working memory is slowly diminishing. For me, it's just a boundary anymore that I cannot participate in a conversation that is passionate or has something to do with an issue that I'm trying to work out without there being pauses between topics for me to be able to address each topic individually. Because once the topic goes from one to the other, it's very likely that I'm going to forget what the previous topic was and what was being said, and of course what I was thinking about it, what I wanted to say about it, how I wanted to approach it, because now I'm focusing on this new topic and then the next one and the next one, and it's torture, and it doesn't work. It's not good for us because it really scrambles our brains and it makes us feel like we're just not all there. It really can make us feel crazy. But that's just something that happens to us. And it's something that we get used to. It doesn't feel any good, even if we're used to it. But it's something that we suffer through a lot of the times. And this is what causes a lot of us to just not engage in a lot of conversation with friends, significant others, coworkers, because we don't want it to get to that point. We don't want to say something that is going to instigate an argument where we're just going to go downhill. And God forbid that we have a meltdown or a shutdown during an argument, because if you're having one with a neurotypical person or even a person who isn't and just doesn't understand, it's going to go really downhill from there. But what can we do? The only thing I could figure, and it's something that I do, is that I ask to keep things one item at a time. I ask that I have the opportunity to be heard, to express myself. And also, I want to know when somebody is done talking, because oftentimes people pause and I'm not sure exactly when they're done talking. I know I pause, and I know that certain times people haven't known when I'm done talking. But I think that neurotypical people tend to pause a lot, and they don't continue with their stream of consciousness because I think that they can remember better. I think that they're able to formulate their opinions and articulate better during an argument. And then the last thing I want to mention is that when I am in a passionate argument, I have that fight or flight. And that fight or flight is, it's not going to take me to great places usually when it's an argument. Because if my flight instinct comes in, which it usually doesn't unless I force it, then I'm going to look like I'm ignoring the argument, like I'm trying to avoid it, stonewalling. But if I have the fight instinct, which I usually do, it feels like I'm trying to be superior, or I'm trying to bully, or I'm trying to push my view over theirs, or all of the above. So, it's never a win-win situation when arguing a passionate topic with a neurodivergent for either party. And along with spacing out topics, don't letting it get to fight or flight mode, asking for a little bit of grace from the neurotypical person while you process, asking them to let you know when they're done talking if that's necessary. There's also a need to maybe know when to walk away. And that's something that I'm still learning. But walking away when you're down to a lower level of cognition, memory, and ability can really, really improve things in the long run. So just things to think about. Hope you guys are all well, and thanks for watching.